Hello, welcome to our festivals. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce our players and introduce them to the available pre-made characters to sort of go through these games with. Tiff and Vice, welcome. Before you are four possible sort of characters that you can choose. First question, I suppose, do you want to be a physical sort of character or more of a magic user in this environment?
I think I want to be a magic user.
Okay. Do
And
you
I
want
think-
Go ahead, sorry.
I think I would like to do the same.
Okay, cool. Now, between those two, there's the wizard and the cleric. Wizard focuses on sort of knowledge about magic and focuses on, magic that does a lot of sort of supportive stuff with their group and focuses on the ways that they can change things. Whereas a cleric typically focuses on supporting the group and healing things and that sort of role. Do either of you know what?
Yeah, I don't really want to be a healer. I want to just kind of be like a pew pew type of magic user.
Sure.
And I think that healing would be nice. A little pew pew magic user needs some backup.
That
Absolutely.
we do.
Okay, cool. So, Tiff, you are the wizard, and Vice, you are the cleric. I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole environment here. So this is the courtyard and fountain of Orem Park, so named for the sculpture of a gold dragon head that overlooks the entire space. Before you lies a large stone patio of sorts with a few apple trees coming out from spaces where they've left the grass bare so that plants can grow there. And then flanking either side of the courtyard is a large large walls of grapevines. And both of these things provide a lot of sort of fresh fruit to people that are in the space. Dotted around the space, you also see several very brightly colored tents that seem to have games and such, and sort of people milling about in different places. Everyone's sort of focused on their own thing. But as you're taking in your surroundings, an elven woman approaches both of you, and I will show you her art in just a moment. This is, like I said, an elven woman. She has long, curly blonde hair, violet eyes, and she's dressed in very pretty violet leathers. Good afternoon, lovelies. Welcome to the Festival of Doors. My name is Solaris, and I will be showing you around and leading you through some of these games. How are you today?
Fine. It's good to meet you, Solaris, you said?
That's right.
Ah, but good to meet you.
It's wonderful to meet you. Come. And she looks toward you as well, Vice, and sort of waits for you to respond if you want to.
A pleasure it is to meet you. And my character will go ahead and just kind of do a little bow of the head.
Oh, it's so rare that I get the bows I deserve. Come on, let us go into these games. Can't waste your entire afternoon. And she sort of pulls both of you by the hand, if you let her, to the first tent, at which you see. Just grabbing my notes real quick. All right. So this space you come to, you see laid out on the counter a series of what look like playing cards, all face down on the countertop. And she grabs a couple of them at random. On one is a picture of a door that's very elaborately designed with like flowers and vines and stuff. And on the other is a key with what looks like a gear on it. In this game, you have to turn over the cards and find doors and keys that match them. And you have to find 3 pairs to win a token. Do you understand?
Yeah, I think I got that.
Okay. These, of course, do not match. Flowers and gears. Dreadful. Away you go. So what I need from both of you, I need you to roll me either dexterity or not dexterity, I'm sorry, intelligence or wisdom. So it's there on your sheet. As a wizard, your primary stat is intelligence. Tiff. So that's the one that your character would usually use for their spell casting. Whereas for you, Vice, with your cleric, wisdom is typically the stat you would use for your spell casting. So it tends to be the highest stat that your character has. So yeah, what I need is each of you to roll me either intelligence or wisdom, your choice. And we will...
So I have rolled and I got a 14 plus 4, which would be an 18 in total.
Ooh, that's really good. Okay.
I got a 19 in total for mine.
Awesome. Yeah, so you both go in with your at the cards, and it takes you a couple of tries just to get the hang of things, but eventually through your intuition, Vice, and your memory, Tiff, you both manage to find your 3 pairs of ornate doors and matching keys. And Solaris reaches into a small pouch on her side and hands you your tokens. Wonderful
Take
job.
a look at it.
Some of the fastest I've seen today.
We're a pretty good pair. What are these for?
Well, once we've gone through some of these games, as many as you want, of course, you can use those to get snacks or get some sort of prize. Oftentimes, there are sort of funny monster faces and that sort of thing. Masks, that's the word. Sorry, common is not my first language. Do you want to continue playing then?
I think so. What's the next one?
What a wonderful question. Give me just a moment here, and I will adjust the map as well. So she pulls both of you along to the next tent, and here before you, this one doesn't have sort of a bar up front. It has some sort of reinforcements in the middle to keep the tent nice and strong. And hanging from the center is a piñata shaped like some sort of scary monster with claws and tentacles and the like. And there are a couple of sticks that have been done up to look like swords. This is a piñata, a monster piñata. Of course, during the event for which the Festival of Doors is named, a great many terrible beasties came into our world and needed to be dealt with. All you'll find in this one is candy, of course. But away you go. What I need from each of you is a strength check, please.
Strength is not going to be very good for me, but let's find out just how not good it is. Yeah, that's not very good. That's a 4.
Oh, and it seems I continue my trend of being one behind you with a whopping 3.
There we go. We're fantastic, isn't it?
We are quite the duo indeed.
Indeed.
you both try to go at it, and the first couple of swings actually miss. Like, just somehow completely go wide. One of you glances off the like center beam where it's hanging from, and Solaris barely stifles a giggle. Do you want to try again?
That might be helpful, yes.
I would prefer another chance to being left with what I just did. So yeah,
And she sort of like looks around a little bit. I don't know. Do either of you see anyone watching? If you would like to, roll me a perception check. Just to see if you see anyone that's keeping an eye, trying to make sure things are fair.
14.
And I got a 9.
14's pretty good, though. Vice, you don't notice anybody. You do sort of a quick glance around, and it's people. Tiff, you are a little bit more discerning with it, and you take your time scanning through the crowd. You don't see anyone looking at you at this moment. She steps aside and lets you take another whack at it. Now, my question is, do you both want to roll again, or does one of you want to give the other one advantage? So what that is you can help each other, and one of you can roll twice and take the higher number instead of both of you rolling.
So looking over Vice's cleric, did they seem like they might be the stronger kind of cleric?
That is a great question. Do you seem strong, or do you seem more like lithe, more dexterous? Vice.
I would say my cleric is a little bit more dexterous and strong.
My wizard is very weak. Very weak. Very, very weak.
I think my cleric might be willing to give it another shot.
I am certainly willing to help.
Okay,
I'll try to hold the piñata steady.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that's what you do. You sort of gently place your stick behind the piñata to stop it from swinging so much. And Vice, I need you to roll a strength check twice and take the higher number. You're rolling with advantage.
All right, so the first roll was a 12, but the second roll was a natural 20.
Absolutely
Yay.
spectacular. So at first you're a little worried about hitting Tiff. So you pull your punch on the first one. But then you've got the hang of this. You know what you're doing, and it's silly that it's taken you this long. You whack it hard and cleave like all the way through the piñata, and it just spills onto the floor into this single gush of bits of candy and sort of like little tiny toys, that sort of thing. Party favors. You guys take a few minutes to pocket some of the candy, and Solaris does a little clap and sort of cheer. Fantastic job.
It seems I found my way.
Are you ready for the next one?
Lead on.
All right. And I will adjust the map in a moment. Sorry. Sometimes the selection tools in this are a little finicky. There we go. So she pulls you to the next tent, and here you see lots of red decorations, flame decorations, that sort of thing on the inside, and little paper cutouts of demons and that sort of thing. And before you is an array of what looks like peppers. There are different colors, different sort of sizes and textures and shapes. These are several species of spicy pepper, several of which were derived directly from the fire plane itself, or so the farmers want you to think. the challenge here is to see how strong your constitution is. Can you handle this fire? I need each of you to roll me a constitution saving throw. So on your sheet, there should be sort of a box next to your main stats that says saving throws. In that, there should be one that's marked Constitution. Roll a d20 and add that number.
So I have gotten a 14.
As a wizard, one would think I am pretty well versed with hot things. I am not. I rolled an 8.
Piff, you fold pretty much with the first one. You barely make it through what is essentially a bell pepper, and the next thing you take just has you fanning your mouth and reaching for something to drink. But Vice, you get a bit further in. You make it through a good chunk of them, and when you do finally buckle after a handful of the peppers, Solaris does her little clap and gives you a token. Tiff, are you okay?
A little hot. I'm used to fire coming out, not going in, I think. So, it's there water anywhere.
Oh, of course. Yeah, hold on, actually. And she reaches underneath the counter, and there are glass bottles filled with milk, and she hands it to you, and it is cold. You get the impression it's probably magically kept cold underneath there. But she hands you a cold bottle of milk and offers one to you as well, Vice, if you want one. Yeah, this should help lighten the burn a little.
And then I'll drink it.
Why, thank you. And oh, dear friend, are you okay?
I'll be fine. Just a little bit more milk. I'll be fine.
You tried very hard.
Sustained wounds. Just let me know.
And with that, she pulls you along to the final tent of 4. Or 4. Yeah. In the interest of time, we are skipping one of the games for now. There we go. This is the tent where you can retrieve some better snacks and like any sort of food that you might want to eat, monster masks and silly sort of costume pieces, that sort of thing. With your tokens. So usually what we do here, since a lot of the time we will be playing virtually, maybe even entirely virtually, you can put a silly filter on my face if you like. Let me find the list. So there are lots of normal animals like cats and dogs and things. There's a lizard. There's a sort of cyclops demon thing. There's a robot, an octopus on top of my head.
Ooh, octopus. I'm all for the octopus.
Do you have a preference?
I agree with the octopus.
Octopus. Understood. Yay! You know, it's a good look for me. I should adopt that like in my day-to-day.
You should. You should just have an octopus swarming around on your head as part of your daily ensemble.
If I had
It
an
is very
animated
cute.
hat
Oh.
shaped like an octopus, I would never take it off.
I would agree. I probably wouldn't either because it just looks fantastic.
It would be very helpful in opening up jars.
It does have a lot of arms.
It'd be very helpful if people start trying to be mean and at me in public. I can just like it'll squirt
Squirt
ink
with
on my
ink.
behalf, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's sort of the gist of it. Just some silly little games to let you roll some dice and have a little bit of game time.
Well, thank you for running this. It was a lot of fun.
Of course.
Yes, it was very enjoyable. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. Hello, and welcome back to another festival. after you've both created your characters, you are here for a round of festival games in character this time, if you like. So first things first, why don't you tell me a little bit about your character, what they look like, and maybe what their pronouns are, that sort of thing, and then we will hop into some games.
Sure. So today I will be playing Cricket. It is a little kenku, looks very similar to just a very round crow figure, and they are a rogue.
Fantastic. Tiff, do you want to tell me a little bit about your character?
Yeah. So I am Laurel. Laurel is a sorcerer. She has blue hair, pretty tall, kind of willowy. It looks like a strong breeze might knock her over. Pretty soft spoken.
Fantastic. All right. So, both of you show up to this park where the festival games are being held. Of course, like I said last time, this is Aurum Park, so named for the giant golden dragon statue head that overlooks the fountain and the patio with the fresh fruit and colorful tents. As you walk through the archway into the space, a blonde elven woman comes to meet you. Let me show you her artwork real quick. She has sort of pale skin, curly blonde hair, and violet eyes that match a set of violet leather armor that she's wearing. And she comes up to you with this broad smile and hello, welcome to the Festival of Doors. My name is Solaris. What are your names?
Oh, hello. And Laura will just bow down like deeply from the waist like 3 times, just like, oh, my name is Laura. It's good to meet you. Solaris, you said Solaris. I'm sorry, Solaris. I'm so sorry.
No, not at all. Take your time, my dear. Yes, Solaris is my name, and it's wonderful to meet you, Laurel. And then she looks over to the Kenku. And what is your name?
Hello, welcome. My name is Cricket.
I do so love hearing my own voice. Come on. You are here to play some games, and I will guide you through them. Let us start over here this time. Doo-doo-doo. I'm just going to leave you guys in that formation so you're easy to move around. So the first tent that she brings you to has sort of a light blue color, and inside... All right. Inside, you see drawn on the stonework a number of colorful spaces arranged in sort of a pattern. And what you need to do here, this is sort of portal hopping. You need to start here and try to get home in a number of moves that this die will tell you. It's hopscotch. You're playing hopscotch, but with a theme of trying to find the right portals home. So what I need from both of you, I need you to roll me dexterity checks, if you please. And since you are playing your characters and you're a little bit more familiar with the game, if there's anything that you think you can do to make it a bit easier for yourself or something of that nature, you are welcome to ask. But yes.
Would this be like, does it have to be straight dex, or would this be kind of an ability? Could I argue for acrobatics?
Yeah, I'll allow it. You can do an acrobatics check if you like.
Okay. So Laurel is going to just kind of like hug herself tightly. She's like, okay, it's easy enough. You can do this. It's okay. It's all right. She'll take a deep breath. She's going to cast guidance on herself as she skips down the portal path.
So before you before you roll your actual acrobatics, I need you to roll me a sleight of hand check to see
sleight of
how
hand
sneaky you are casting a spell on yourself.
Ooh, okay.
Cricket tried to assist with this by repeating the "you can do this" back to Laurel, just very loudly to try to cover up any spell casting being.
Sure. We'll say roll that sleight of hand at advantage as
Sleight of
the
hand.
words startle Solaris momentarily.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's advantage or not. It was a 17 either way.
Points for consistency.
Indeed.
Let me close that actually. There we go. Anyway, no, that's really good though. That's really good. Yeah, when she looks away toward Cricket, you quickly do your spell casting, and you feel a little bolstered. And she doesn't seem to have noticed. She doesn't call you out or anything. So roll your acrobatics check and add your D4 from guidance.
So acrobatics plus a D4. So I rolled an 18 plus a 2, so that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, fantastic. Yeah, no, you do great. You figure out the path you need to take, and you are light enough on your feet. You just hop through, no problem. You go from the beginning to home without any issue at all.
Yay! And she'll turn around, she'll just kind of clap a little bit, and just her eyes have lit up.
Fantastic. Solaris flips you the coin just sort of in the air and tumbles towards you.
She kind of reaches out for it, hoping that she can catch it. It almost slips between her fingers. Oh my gosh. Got it. I got it. I got it.
Marvelously well done. Did you want to try this one? She looks towards Cricket.
Cricket will go ahead and just very long head movement nod. And could I also argue an acrobatics check for this?
You most definitely can.
Fantastic.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I think Vice muted themselves.
They did.
Oh no, okay. So I've realized that if I hop off of this page while I'm rolling, that it'll not pick up the space bar.
Oh, okay. You cut off with an "and" last time. I didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to say.
So that was a dirty 20 that I ended up rolling. It was 14 plus 6.
Fantastic. Yeah, just as well for you. You don't take the exact same route, but you're just as efficient hopping through the portals to get home. And she flips you a token as well. Excellently done. Fantastic. All right, come along, dears, to the next one. Boop, boop. There we go. And similar to last time, the next thing she pulls you to is a card matching game with the doors and keys. And what you need to do is you need to roll over a door card and roll over a key card, and you need to try to remember where they are and find matches. So I need both of you to roll either an intelligence or a wisdom check. If you like, you could make the case for investigation or perception, or I suppose history.
Could I make the case for insight? Just trying to be able to intuit where things are.
I'll tell you what. Roll an insight. You are not trying to incite the cards. What you are trying to incite is Solaris to see if there's anything about her body language that gives away anything on the table.
Okay. Okay. Not sure what happened there, but that's okay. That's an 8.
Plus?
No, that's an 8. That was a
You-
3 plus
you
5. That's an 8.
You look over at her and try to read her body language. You don't really pick up anything, but she notices you staring and just turns back with this like sly wink and smirk, and just sort of like gestures towards the cards for you to play the game.
Gosh, that wasn't very helpful at all. I think she might be like, I think she's like worried about me now. I think she might not like me. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh. And Laurel's
You
gonna be
poor
like
dear.
scared that she has like completely ruined her possible relationship by kind of looking for help. She feels like really embarrassed about the whole thing. And now she's going to like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to focus. And she'll try perception on.
Sure.
Okay.
So roll me a perception check, if you please.
22. She's really focused now. Like she feels so bad that she's just so focused.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this. I didn't need any help. I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything. Oh
You
my gosh.
almost feel silly. Like you almost feel silly for trying to look for that help, trying to look for that hint.
She doesn't
It
almost
takes
feel
you
silly. She feels extremely silly.
you are almost too quick figuring out the patterns of where things are and finding your 3 matches. Cricket, are you attempting this game as well?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if Cricket could try to sleight of hand this game. So almost being able to, like waving their wing arm over the cards, kind of trying to get a little peek at the corners to see if they can find any matches.
Sure. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
That is an 18.
18's really good. Yeah, you making sure Solaris is not watching. You sort of wave your hand just to disturb the cards a little bit and catch glimpses of the shapes on the other side. Roll your whatever intelligence or wisdom check you wish to roll. Roll it with advantage.
Ooh, nice. So that looks like a 17.
17. That's pretty good. Yeah, you're not quite as efficient at this as Laurel ended up being, but you find your 3 matches with very little stumbling. And maybe the stumbling was even intentional to not make it look like you cheated. Who can say? But you find your 3 matches and both of you get your tokens, and Solaris pulls you to the next tent. So at this point, a question for the both of you. Do you want to attempt the piñata or do you want to attempt the spicy peppers?
Laurel would actually feel better with the piñata.
Cricket, do you have a preference?
Cricket is a little bit better at handling some spicy foods, but will gladly aid Laurel in any way possible.
Okay, sure. So each of you is taking on each of the challenges. Okay. So what do you do to help Laurel at the piñata?
I guess Cricket would mostly try to, using Laurel's own words towards her to kind of like help bolster her confidence a little bit, and maybe even potentially using sleight of hand.
Okay. Laurel, roll your strength or athletics check at advantage, please.
That's a 16.
16's pretty good. Yeah, you find your confidence bolstered a bit by Cricket and your new friendship. And Cricket sort of helps steady it by surreptitiously pulling on the rope that's holding it up. And you bust it open after just a couple of whacks, and candy spills out onto the stonework. And you you receive your token.
She'll scoop up some candy and kind of put it in some of her pockets. She has many pockets in her robe. Many, many, many pockets. The robe might be more pocket than robe. It's entirely possible. And before we walk over there, she is going to like smile, like just beam at Cricket and tap them gently on the head and cast guidance on the way before we get to the next place.
Okay. Roll
Oh, I
me. Actually, I'll just let it go. Yeah, as you're walking over there, you cast guidance on Cricket. Cricket, roll me a Constitution saving throw and add a D4.
Sounds great. Okay. So that is a
Come back on this side, yeah.
What?
that will be a 13.
You work your way through a few of them. You just barely reach that sort of halfway point where you get the token. It is hot. The guidance that Laurel offered you helps a little and sort of bolsters your resolve as you move through them. But by the end, your little birdie mouth is almost literally on fire. As
Cricket is,
go ahead, sorry.
sorry, Cricket is kind of like clacking the beak together, trying to like get airflow going.
Hold on. Laurel will go run around looking for milk, and she'll go grab some and bring it back. Just like, try this. This might help.
Might help.
Yeah, you do you drink the milk first of all?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, it helps. It takes a little bit for things to calm down. You know, you still feel a little bit of the burn, but it definitely calms it down a lot so that you can be a bit more comfortable with things. But that is it for the games for now. As you two, wrong tab. Sorry. You two come over to the prize tent, and in addition to sort of like snacks and food items and stuff like that, there are some sort of lesser magic items available to you. A lot of different options. Most of them are sort of cosmetic, silly things. There's a cloak that looks like it's perpetually blowing in the wind, regardless of whether or not there is wind. You see a hat that turns into different hats, but that's it. It doesn't turn into any other sort of garment. I call that the hat of many hats. You see sort of like there's a wand that creates fireworks, harmless fireworks. Basically just loads and loads of simple sort of magic items. If you think of something specific, let me know and I can sort of let you know what's there that's close to that. But yeah, you've got a lot of different sort of options here that would, yeah.
I think
there any-
I
Cricket is
am very
going to
interested in the
look
hat of
for-
many hats.
Cricket is going to look for what? I'm sorry.
Sparkliest thing that they have,
The
or
sparkliest thing.
yeah, the nice and shiny.
Okay. Do you want some? Okay. Do you want something that literally glows, like it lights up? Or do you want something that like makes things sparkly or something that just is sequined?
Yeah, something glowing.
Something glowing. Yeah, so you sort of dig through stuff a little bit and try to find what you're something sufficiently glowing. And eventually you find what is known as a drift globe. It is an orb that you can light up on command, and you can have it sort of float next to you, and it is literally glowing if you want it to be.
Laurel is busy kind of trying on her hat, and then she takes it off and looks at it, and then she tries it on again and tries to change it, and then she takes it off and looks at the new hat, and just on and off and on and off, just enjoying the many different hats she is able to create out of this hat.
Fantastic. So yes, that you ran your original characters through some festival games and got to help each other a little bit, got to try different things. And in the end, got to acquire some fancy little magic items. That is all for now, but I look forward to playing with you both in the future. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for running. It was fun.